So what's the one key if you're going to try and wholesale land? What's the one key you would share?
Oh, the biggest one key. I would say it's just patience and consistency is probably the biggest thing. We have weeks here in the acquisition department that, man, we strike out all over the place, and you've got to be okay with that. And then we have weeks where you're tripping into deals and you're not even trying that hard. So just being patient, be consistent, have a good, consistent pitch to the sellers. That's the only way you can get results that are repeatable, that happen over and over again. If you use a good, solid, consistent pitch, you know that, hey, I'm a 1 out of 10 closer. I'm a 1 out of 5 closer. So that way you know how many sellers, excuse me, you have to reach out to in order to get a piece of property bought.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So one of the two is, obviously the data you guys are collecting has to be super accurate, or you're wasting time. How do you get that accurate data? I mean, I guess I'm sure there's secrets here you can't share, but how do you get the data to where you're not, wasting your time on trying to find the seller or whatever?
The seller data, like I said, we have a lot of it to begin with, and it gets constantly updated. We usually update it every quarter because people buy and sell land, and there's different sellers in the market. Sure. So, our data source that we get it from, we typically update it quarterly, and also re-download all the county data, into our software just to see what has changed hands.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
What I've seen your platform, it's actually pretty amazing. Joke is just trying to screenshot it, but you guys weren't letting me. But they really do have an amazing platform, and it's the best I've seen. The irony is there's so many platforms that are for sale. If you guys really wanted to, you could make a mint selling that platform, but then you got to compete against your own proprietary product.
That is part of the long-term plan here, is to be able to sell subscriptions. And, a lot of these, and people could download their own data into it. Like if they wanted to work a different market in Iowa, you could download the county data into this, and it would take a little bit of work. But we do eventually want to be able to create an army of essentially affiliate acquisition reps that can subscribe to our software. And when they get a lot in, then it would just be, somebody on our sales team, myself or one of the other folks here, who could then resell the lot. So that's definitely in the probably 6 to 12 month plan.
Right. And outside the state of Florida, so anywhere in the United States is the goal ultimately to go to?
You could, if you had the right data in there and you downloaded the county data for pick a county, it could work.
Gotcha. Makes sense.
So how do you, everything in real estate's local and specific. How do you guys take like the individual markets, figure them out,